In this video tutorial we're going to look at how you can work with your toolbox to make it easy to use, move it around, and how you can also work with the toolbars to have them exactly where you want them. First thing probably to notice about the toolbox is that along the top you've got these three icons. If we look at the middle one first, that enables us to roll up the toolbox. So if we click that, we've still got access to the menus. We can still go backwards and forwards through the flip chart, but of course now it doesn't get in the way, and if we just want to roll it out again, then we just have to click on the same icon. The one next to that enables us to dock the toolbox. So if we have it docked left, useful for left-handers such as myself. We have it docked right. If you dock it top or bottom, it looks slightly different because it will stay. It doesn't look like a toolbox any longer. It looks like a toolbar, and it will stay in place then. So obviously you can have it at the top, or you can have it at the bottom, or we can have a floating toolbox, which means that we can put it wherever we like. Now, if we just dock it to the right, the third icon is a little pin. It enables us to pin the toolbox in place. This will make more sense if I unpin it, because you'll notice then that it slips away to the edge of the screen, and as I move the cursor over to the right, it pops back up again. If I were to then pick up the pen tool and start writing, as soon as I start writing it just slides away, and as soon as I go back it will come back. If I pin it in place when I write, it doesn't go away. It stays in place. So that's what we mean then really by pinning the toolbox. Now, the toolbox that I'm working in at the moment is actually the authoring toolbox, which is just a profile. That's one of the standard profile settings with ActivInspire. But you can change your profile, and you can make up your own profile, so that means effectively you can create your own toolbox of tools that you use all the time. And we just go to this icon here. It looks like a little sort of ID card or something to change the profile. So if we click on that, we can have, for example, the maths toolbox. Now when you click on it, it just takes a moment to appear, and now we've got all of the maths toolbars, or tools rather, the protractor, the ruler, the compass, the dice, etc. If we change it again for, say, the media toolbox, then now we've got the facilities to capture using the camera, to record sound, to insert media, etc. The way that we change the toolbox, if I just take it back actually to the authoring, this is the one that we'll try and modify. We can do this reasonably simply if we go to File and then down to Settings. Now here it tells us which toolbox we're actually going to modify, and we're going to modify the authoring toolbox. And the tools, at the moment the tab we're in is Settings, but the tools are in Commands. Now here we're working on the main toolbox. We could actually modify the marquee handles on objects, but this is the main toolbox that we want to modify. And these are all of the tools then that are in our toolbox. On the left hand side we've got all of the tools that are available to us, and these are the ones that we can add on to the toolbox if we need to. Obviously you're not going to want all of them on there, only the ones that you use regularly. Now at the moment this is showing all commands. We could, for example, just look at the voting tools, the tools that we use with the voting pods, or we could just look at the basic editing tools that we've got. And let's have a look then at how we first of all remove a tool from the toolbox. Well, the line connector is a tool that I don't use very often, so if I click on that and then click on remove, then away it goes. You notice now it's immediately come off of the toolbox. However, I might use the magic ink a lot, so if I click on that, then click on add, well, now we've got the magic ink added to the toolbox. Now if I just take that away, you see at the moment it's gone to the right of the shape tool. If I just take that off again, so highlight the magic ink and remove it, this time I want it in this blank space here, so I want it after the text tool. So what I'm going to do is just to highlight the text tool, highlight the magic ink, because that's the one that I want to add. I'm going to click on add, and you'll notice now that the magic ink has gone after the text tool. So whichever tool you've got highlighted here, when you add a new tool, then the tool that you're adding will go after the one that's highlighted. If then you think, well, actually I don't like it there, I want to change where it is, then you can move the tool up or down, and as I click on move up, if you watch what's happening on the toolbox, you can see then it's just moving up, or obviously you can move it down as well. It is quite useful to sometimes add a separator. You notice on the toolbox there are these white lines separating out different tools. So for example, if we wanted to add a separator after the fill tool, the one that looks like a paint bucket, first thing we need to do is to highlight the fill tool to tell us where or to tell ActivInspire rather where the separator is going to go. Pick up the separator and then click on add, and then as before the separator will go after the tool that was highlighted here. Now if we're happy with that and we think, yeah, that's a toolbox that I'm going to use a lot, then you can save your profile. Now if you just click on save, you'll overwrite the authoring profile. You might therefore want to choose a different name for your profile, so go to save profile as. You can say where you want the profile to be saved, so for example you could save it onto a memory stick, and you can have that then take it with you, so if you're working on a laptop at home you've always got the right profile with you, and you can give it obviously whatever name you want to give it. If you want to return a profile to its default settings, then you've got this little reset button over on the right. So if I just click on the reset button, then that will take us back to the toolbar that we actually, or toolbox rather, that we actually started with. It's telling us that some of the changes won't obviously happen until we restart. One thing actually that we didn't look at when we were rolling up and down the toolbox was rolling the toolbox in and out. You see on this bar here we've got different tools. As we pick up different tools and start to use them more often, so for example if we start to use the circular spotlight for example, Just take that one off. But because we've used it, that will now appear in this extra sidebar. If we don't like that, because it does take a bit more space, if we click on roll in, then we'll lose that extra part of the toolbox. And whoops, clicked on the wrong one there. And if we uncheck that, untick that, then we've got that toolbox there. The last thing to look at is moving the top toolbar, this toolbar along the top here. If you find it difficult to reach this on the board, obviously it's fine if you're working on a computer, but obviously some people might struggle reaching the very top of the interactive whiteboard. Well, you can change that. You can have that toolbar running along the bottom, and that's very easy to do. If you go back to Files and Settings, this time rather than being in Settings, if you go to Layout, then it says Menu Bar, Dock Top, and Document tabs are also docked at the top here. The Document tab is that one there that tells me what flipchart I'm working in. Obviously I might have a number of flipcharts open at the same time. Well, I can dock the menu bar at the bottom, and I can dock the Document tabs at the bottom as well. And now I've got access to all of my menus running along the bottom, and more space running along the top. So really, it's just a case of finding out which tools you use, which tools you don't, and then customize your toolbox